Welcome, everybody, to What the Football. My name is Scrubber, and this is the BHN Scrubber Show.
Hey, Scrubber. Good to be
Hey,
here, man. Had a nice long break,
we
and
did.
we're ready to go. We got a big game this Sunday, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We hope everybody had some good time off. I had some good time off. BH seemed like he got some rest. So, on today's show, we're going to do some fantasy, of course. I think it's exciting. I like it. And then we're going to do kind of some scouting report. We're going to talk about the Bills, how they're doing, the fundamentals that we can do to address what they're going to try and do to us, and then some predictions for the upcoming game. And then we got a special announcement at the end of the show.
Yep, sounds good. So let's start this thing off with some fantasy. I'm looking at the standings in our Yahoo League. Looks like, I started off 2-0.
2-0. BH is crushing it.
Yes, I did. I had a good first game, and I think I got a little lucky in the second game. But hey, I'll take luck. Yeah, Scrubber's Army, Scrubber down in 5th place. Not bad.
From 2nd to 5th. I'm good with it.
Yeah. How you feeling about your team?
It was good. I think what happened to me was Green Bay or the Lions picked up Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
And then I think my guy was the head guy before, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Swift was their main runner before, and then they got Jamal Williams. So he came in and ate up some of his time, in my opinion. So he could have got some more yardage had he played more.
Yeah.
And I was up against my guy, had Devontae Adams, who did pretty good, but not as good as he could have, because they were using Jones to do all their work.
Yeah, he really killed it. So yeah, I was overall pretty happy with my team. I've been looking at my roster.
Looks good.
Yeah, it is a pretty strong roster. I think I'm just waiting to see what
CMC?
I think he's going to miss 4 or 5 games.
Ow.
Javonte Williams, he's another guy that's in limbo. He's splitting a lot of time in Denver. Everyone seems to think he's going to be the main guy in time, but yeah, I'm hurting a little bit at running back. I need to go in and maybe hit waivers. Yeah. I was going to say, let's look at Scrubber, man. Yeah. But you were smart. You got a great quarterback. Metcalf and Hopkins are your wide receivers.
Yeah.
You got Logan Thomas, Brandon Cooks. Actually, if you look at your receivers, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Cooks, and then you got Chase Claypool on the bench.
Yeah.
You got 4 solid guys. So I think both of us are going to have to look at waivers, get our waiver requests in by Tuesday night, and just see what happens on Wednesday. But I think both of us need to kind of hit some running backs, try and watch this weekend, see who has some success, because we both need to bolster our running back lineup a little more. Yeah.
I still hold out for Lindsey, because he's like their smaller guy. He takes the second stuff, but he scores touchdowns. He's the guy that they'll run at, second goal and sneak him in. So he picks up 6 points, that's how he picks up his points. But he didn't do that good this last time. But
it's and that whole thing is in Houston's kind of in disarray. They seem to be trying a little bit of everybody. Everyone got like 2 or 3 points, and man, from a fantasy standpoint, that's killer. So we'll see how things shake out. It's a tough break for them, having to go with the rookie Davis. What's his name? Davis Mills.
It'll shake out after like week 3, week 4, as these teams start to find their main person. I think that'll all work out. I'm not freaking out too bad. I do have McKissick and Garrett Patterson.
Yeah. But you could, there's going to be some guys that are going to step up here that are still out there on waivers and both of us should look at addressing, get some more solid guys in there because we're hurting. So. Yeah, you're doing, it's funny, just to show you a team like Houston that's, not all that good. Brandon Cook still got you 16.2 points.
Yeah.
So someone's got to get the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was funny because on that game between the Chiefs and the Ravens, it was my quarterback against my defense.
I know.
That blows, don't throw an interception so my defense can score.
I know.
But there are ways through that as well. You can have your quarterback ripping it up, but not getting points.
Right.
And your defense holding them at the end. So you get the benefit of the quarterback doing something, and you also get the benefit of the defense. Now that didn't kind of happen that way because they won.
It did.
Baltimore won, so my defense scored those points, and that doesn't pull away from my quarterback. So, it was fun to watch. Yeah. So it's a learning process for me.
It sure is. Well, this weekend you got Baltimore at Detroit. Yahoo's saying they're going to score 8.5 points. I think they're going to get anywhere from 9 to 11 points, and that's really good from a defense. So, well,
all my other people are tight. Justin Tucker, he's the man.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Your receivers, you got Mahomes, so you'll be doing good. I think on my team, I'm pretty happy. The only guy, obviously the Christian McCaffrey injury is going to hurt me. So I'm going to have to really get out there and get that going. Now, the one guy who, McCaffrey's going to hurt me, but I do have Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
So he's good. Robert Woods has kind of really hurt me. It seems like, what's his name? Matthew Stafford just keeps throwing what's his name? Cooper Kupp. And no one else. I think poor Robert Woods is like, hey, man, throw me a bone. So, well, good deal. Well, we'll do our best to see what happens next week.
Yeah. Speaking of next week, we got a game coming up, and that's against the Bills. And so we're going to talk about some of that right now. So, just to start off, I watched a little bit of that game. I think Tua went out early.
Yep.
It was a blowout score, but the score again isn't always an indication of what was happening in the game because you see opposites of games. You'll see a game that was 28-25, and you would think that game was close when it really wasn't. The other team made up that 25 points in the fourth quarter. It was garbage time stuff. The other team was running their lesser defense. You see what I'm saying, or whatever, and it just looks close. And so the opposite could be true of the 35-0, which is what I feel happened, and we'll dissect some of that, right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. They pretty much had their way with them.
They did.
They did. But I didn't feel like their offense looked that in sync. For a 35-0 blowout, they did not look all that in sync. The one good thing Miami does have is got some strong DBs. Now, they had issues in other places, obviously. And losing your quarterback in the first quarter really sometimes can just send a shockwave through a team, and they don't recover.
Yep.
But they do have good DBs. They seem to take care of that. They seem to give up those big runs to the running backs, to the running game. So that's good. I think I'm sure our defensive coordinators and coaches are looking at that film, looking at what Miami did, which probably they're probably doing a lot to shut down Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Diggs beat you because the rest. You got a Cole Beasley and
a
few other guys. Knox, the tight end, is nothing to be excited about. But I think their main thing is don't let Stephon Diggs beat you, and don't let him and the quarterback Allen get into a rhythm. Because that'll tear you up. But honestly, I'm not that impressed with their running game.
It was really okay.
Just okay, but there's nothing to be scared of. I don't think so. Yeah,
especially against Miami, who's known to have the better secondary than their line. You would think that the running would have been a little more damaging, but I don't think their main guy got even over 100.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple breakaway little things, but most
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
was 2 and 5 and 2 and 5 and lots of incomplete passes. Like you said, they seemed out of sync to me for some reason.
It's
And even
weird to
though it was
say.
35-0, I
Yeah,
think it should have been 50-0. If you're
yeah.
stepping on the gas and you're going to destroy somebody, but it looked like the Bills were still playing hard, but still only managing to get these things barely
Yeah,
moving forward. I
it's
think they
true.
had
And
some fumbles, so
they did. But it is an odd thing to say. They did have fumbles. It's an odd thing to say that, you think 35-0, you think that they were just grease lightning and were hitting on all cylinders, but
yeah.
they weren't. So that's good. So I'm just thinking, it's kind of it's weird. The NFL week to week is so crazy. You think about it. Miami in week 1 goes up to New England against Belichick, and they beat him. Okay, that's great, right? Chargers come all the way out to DC to play our football team and beat them. Then both teams, Miami goes home to Miami, Chargers go back out to Los Angeles, and they proceed to lose at home.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
So week in and week out, you just never know what you're going to get. So
it takes a few games to shake all this stuff out too.
Sure does. It really does. It really does take a few games. So I guess for me in this game, I think one of the looking forward is, honestly, we had some issues with containing Daniel Jones. He's pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. He's a smart runner. He knows when to run. He seems to see his lanes clearly. And we talked about before, and I know some of those were designed, and I just wonder if sometimes he was able to come up to the line of scrimmage and is given the authority to be able to make a trade. He should be. He's so damn good. I mean, comes up in between the lines, sends a guy in motion, and watches some guys move and goes, "Oh my goodness, I could just get 7 yards right here." And why not? But that being said, Josh Allen's no slouch. So I hope I think that is the one thing that could really, we talk about it. We can control their running game. We can control Stephon Diggs and then take their passing game down a peg. But the wild card is Josh Allen. Is he going to be out there running all over the place like Daniel Jones did? So come on. The Buffalo Bills saw that film. They saw what Daniel Jones did. I mean, certainly they're looking at exploiting that. So I'm hoping that and I'm sure they're studying it, that we have an answer for that. But I think we've got the other things covered. So
I think so. Yeah. The running game we should hold tight. And, we learned from, the Daniel Jones thing too. I always think of just putting somebody on the quarterback. It sucks. You got to designate someone to that person. And I'm sure you don't have to do it every play because, he's not going to run on some plays.
Yeah.
But someone should be designated to that, just like they have someone following the running back out of the backfield and stuff like that. You just have to watch it. So if the boys can keep that squeezy, and then our defensive backs, again, this is all minor amounts of, if the line can squeeze them a little harder, get a little in there, keep Allen contained, give our DBs, short amounts of time. Don't let Diggs have 4 seconds to run around. That's a sure, anybody, I could get wide open if you give me four seconds to run around in the secondary, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to do there. And in their running game for the Bills, I thought their guys fumbled a couple times. So Zach Moss did. So Gabe went away there. It didn't look like Allen's passing was all that great. So we could look for opportunities for interceptions. So I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think those are and better tackling. Let me just cover tackling real quick again. Got to cinch them up. So we're going to be looking for better tackling too. And just continue to watch our kicking team, special teams. They're running good. I love our special teams. I don't have any worries about them, but we'll still keep an eye on what they're doing and see how all that goes. So on the offensive side of the ball, I don't know.
It seems like they did look pretty good on defense, pretty stout all the way around, but we have to establish a run game.
Yeah.
They really got to get Gibson going. And I read some good blocking stats. Washington football team is in the top 5. They're doing a great job at it. I think we just need to stick by it more. Just got to develop that, especially for Heineke. We can't be on the road in Buffalo and giving him 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14. It's a recipe for disaster. So we got to establish some run.
Yeah.
And then get some play action off the run. So I really do hope that they approach that. Gibson's been doing okay, but I just don't think he's really reached his potential. So I think that's a big thing.
They mixed up enough people in the last time. I know they brought in McKissick last time, but I don't think we didn't see Derek Patterson or anybody else jump in there, right?
Patterson might have run once, and that was it. So yeah, they just kind of used the 2 guys. I guess that's okay, but I mean, committing to a little more smash mouth and really getting him going, because Gibson, I just don't think has had a chance to really explode. I mean, we've seen some great plays from him, but he could have a dominant game. He could have a 130-yard game, no problem. Yeah. And that would eat up the clock, keep the ball away from them.
Yeah.
So
I'm all about eating up the clock. So it was just like what happened to the Seahawks last week. Sure, you get down there in 3 plays, but your defense is back out on the field again. Them guys look gassed at the end of that game. The Hawks only had like 23 or 24 minutes of possession time, something crazy like that. I mean, that you got to possess the ball. You have to march down the field in a way that you establish your offense and you chew up clock. You have to give your defense rest. You have to. By the end of the game, they're gassed and they can't cover Diggs. They're done already, and I don't blame them for that. And so, Heineke, I think, can master that. I think Scott Turner should be able to mastermind a plan for that. As much as I don't, know what Del Rio's doing sometimes, he should be able to handle that defense too. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think another good thing is now Heineke's got this whole extra week. So he did pretty good on a short week. He did pretty darn good, but now he's had so much time. There's a lot to be said for working with the first team instead of the second team.
Yeah.
You're out there with the first team the whole time. To get to know the guys a little better. Just more personal kind of stuff, chat with those linemen more. You get to know your receivers a little better. I mean, we got to remember, Diami Brown's a rookie.
Yeah.
Our slot receiver. What's his name? The guy we got from Tennessee, Humphreys. Yeah. I mean, he's new to the team. So, so he'll have this whole week and then lots of film to be able to sit down with him and say, because we know what kind of defense Buffalo runs, and we can go over that with them. Look, I can't tell you what kind, if it's a 2 high, a 3 high, single high, but teams do move around. But you can say, look, generally, this is the kind of defense they're going to run. This is what you're going to see most of the time. And then they can break down individual DBs and stuff later. But really, he's got a great chance now to really have it all explained, to go over it, and then to take it out into the field and practice it. So I think that's going to be really huge for him, considering he did pretty darn well on a short week.
Yeah. They Humphreys did good last week. They utilized him later in the game, but he scored a couple crucial first downs and he did some good stuff. So I agree with you. I'm excited to see about Heineke. To me, I always felt from the beginning it's either Fitzpatrick or then it's Heineke or then it's Kyle Allen. I don't care which.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as you're stepping in and you're running it, because it's normally the coach's vision of how things run. You're just slotting these people in to do the coach's will. And as long as they're coaching him to do the thing the way he's supposed to do, now you count on this person sharpening their quarterback skills and running the thing, obviously. But that guy should be able to run this team. You should be able to pull somebody in as long as they know the nomenclature and all this stuff and run it. So like you said, that long week was a godsend. And luckily we pulled that win out last week. That was good. You know what I'm saying? So rolling into this game with a win under our belt and trying to zap these guys on Sunday. It'd be nice to roll into Buffalo in front of the Bills Mafia. They make them cry. So that would be nice.
It would be. And there's something to be said. We talked about how they had a long stretch at home. And, it's always better to play at home. Everyone knows it. The stats show you that. But there's something really, I've seen it with a lot of teams. There's something really good and liberating about being on the road because it's just you and your boys, this vicious crowd yelling at you.
Yeah.
They want you to lose.
Yeah.
You find out a lot of character about your team, and it forces you to trust your coaches, the game plan, and your teammates more. I mean, you're really like you're in this environment, man, where you can't be going off half cocked. You really got to stick together. So let's see how that plays
that
out.
Idea. I remember when I was in school and playing soccer and stuff, and we had to go to other people's schools and stuff, and like you'd be getting off the bus, and I mean, there's seniors and stuff like looking at you like, I'm gonna kick your ass. And like, dude, we're just here to play soccer, funsies here, So I agree with what you said. It's a little, and you see that kind of. I've heard in past things. They make it difficult on you when you travel to places. They don't give you the best locker room. They turn the heat off in it or something.
Sure.
They
exactly.
Stuff,
They mess with you.
So good for the boys. It will be good.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any more other. I think. I did want to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
On fundamentals, two fundamentals. One we discussed was that penalties. We did not do that great in penalties. It wasn't over the top bad. They were spread out a little bit, but I think was it 8 or 9. Yeah. Let's get down to let's tighten it up. Let's get 4 penalties. 4 to 5 or less. Let's they're going to happen. Everyone has penalties, but they didn't have any, the personal fouls. Even the personal foul against Cosme was just a little. I think that was such a pure rookie mistake on his part. I don't think he was trying to do anything. Yeah, he wasn't trying to do anything with that headshot. He just got a little excited.
But Chase Young penalty. I seen people on the internet even saying that was questionable.
Yeah.
And then that William Jackson interference one, that was questionable.
That was the one I had the biggest gripe with. That just seemed like almost phantom, almost like a phantom call. Like, what did you see? I didn't get it.
That's how Vince McMahon regulates the wrestling matches.
That's right. Got the refs in his pocket. Yeah. Well, one thing I did see in the NFL just quickly before I get to the other fundamental was I am seeing some, and this is great, on-field decisions, literally where one of the refs will call a powwow. Instead of overruling the guy on the field, he'll go, look, I know you called that pass interference. He's the line judge. I'm looking up the field. What did you see? He goes, well, I thought, he came around and he hooked him. He goes, well, I'm looking up the line. He was playing him hard, but he never hooked him. Oh, okay. What do you think? I didn't see anything. Okay. And then I saw a couple times where they reversed, or they at least talked about a play right on the field. Didn't send it upstairs
or anything. Pick up the flag.
Yep.
I'm good with that. Dude,
yeah, I loved it.
Talking to my landlord about that just the other day, dude, right before I went to the thing. I said, I don't care. Throw the fucking flag. Go ahead. If you thought something happened, but also be big enough to say, you're right. I'm going to pick it up. It wasn't that bad. I think the NFL would score so many good points with all of their fans by doing that more instead of holding that line. No, I called it. It's a penalty. No.
Yeah.
Let go of that for a second.
Yeah. Like they say, if we question a guy, we'll break the trust. Yeah. And it's just so stupid. And it's also quick. Guy runs in and says, what did you see? No, I didn't see it. The back judge might say, well, no, you saw him hit him. I didn't see him hit him. Yeah. Oh, okay, fine. Let's just pick it up and let's go. So you can because you know what? Now there's 36 cameras up there looking. They're going to show it. Would you rather have that where they show your stupid phantom call 27 times and you ruin the game for someone? Better just to pick it up. So penalties would be great. And another thing, that you don't think about sometimes is fundamentals, like penalties. I mean, penalties, it's fundamental that you don't have 9, 10, 11 penalties. That's a big part of the game. But another thing is turnovers, creating turnovers. And you were talking about how they look like they had a little bit of fumbleitis. But let's get some fumbles. Let's put so much pressure that Allen throws some cockeyed passes and our DBs get some picks. Let's get a guy just break through on a punt and just block it. Yeah. So let's look for that. I mean, that's fundamental. Getting turnovers is fundamental to football. It really is. You really got to be able to create those. So let's see if we can swing things in our favor by reducing our penalties and getting them to turn the ball over a little bit.
Yeah, you want to be on the plus side of the turnover equation. So
without a doubt,
I fully agree with that. I mean, even if you can punch the ball out, even if they recover, that still puts them on edge.
Yep.
Even if you didn't get it back, even if you didn't recover it, but if you can get them to drop the ball or something, you get close on an interception or something like that, now they're starting to think, and now you're in their head. So I totally agree with that.
Yep.
So, yeah, and that's a part of that. The line getting pressure on them. The DBs covering them good. Our DBs cover really close, so close, in fact, that they get penalized for stuff they're not even doing.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks like the other guy's jersey for a second there. He's so close.
Yeah.
So, well, very cool. Yeah, I think this upcoming game is going to be, it's tough always, but I think, like you said, coaches are looking at it. They've had all week, going in there with a mindset, to win the game. So, speaking of that game, we are going to live watch the game, a reaction show, I guess they call it. You won't see the game here, but we will be covering the game. BH is going to come in early, and then I'm going to cover the game. Right, BH?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll be in there early. We do a quick little talk, man. See if there's not going to be any weather or anything, but we'll talk about the inactives, see if there's any surprises for either
last
team.
Minute stuff.
Sure, you take over, but I'll be in chat. So we really welcome everybody. I'll be there if you want to come on in. Scrubber will be doing play-by-play.
Woohoo!
And get in there.
Join me. It's going to be fun. That's the way I like to watch football. The reason we created this channel was so I just like watching football, and I like yelling at the TV. And so when you come here and you watch me do the play-by-play, I'm going to be yelling at the TV. I'm going to be yelling at the refs. I'm going to be yelling at the other team. I'm going to be using cuss words. So keep the kids out of the room. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like coming over to your buddy's house and watching TV. And so I'll have my coffee and I'll be good to go. And I want you guys to come and join me. Have some fun.
Yeah. And it's a heck of a game, man. So be there for it.
Yeah. So now we got one last thing to do.
Oh yeah. Predictions.
We have to make a prediction. So I think earlier in the year when we covered the scheduling, we saw this game as being a difficult game. I think we said that outright as one of the early on games before the bye that we could possibly not win would be this game. So indeed, because I love the Washington football team and I think they can pull it out at the end, I think of all the things that we talked about, the boys can do it. It should be a good, exciting, hard game, but I think the boys can pull it out. So if I had to put a number on it, I would say it would be low scoring and close.
Very good. Yeah, I'm going to we talked about, we did the full season preview. I think I almost I said it was a toss up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to label this a non-win. Now, let me break it down for you.
Go ahead.
They lost to the Chargers, did some good things, and barely beat the Giants.
Yeah.
This is a heck of a football team up in Buffalo. We're on the road. That's a tough road game. Bills Mafia going to be there, lighten things up. I think some of the things, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but not being able to contain Daniel Jones hurt us. And I think with Josh Allen, you got a much stronger running guy. He's pretty darn good. And obviously he can throw really well. I think that's going to be a challenge. So, so I think they just have a lot to overcome. I think it could be a game like 31-28, Buffalo Bills, but I'm praying I'm wrong. I'll be rooting strong for the guys, but this is an uphill battle. This will test their character. Yeah,
I appreciate that. No, and for me, it's always like as long as someone can explain their end and it makes sense, I love it. You know what I'm saying? And there you give good reasons why, and I agree it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So, that's a win for me and a NW for you, and we have to go. Oh God. Go to the analog. They don't look happy at all. So hang on, boys. Here we go. You know the deal. All right.
Yeah.
So let me move the chair out of the way. We don't have a lot of room to throw it on here because Scrubber's been going crazy here lately. Camping. Go see my other channel, my Scrubber channel. All right. What's up, everybody? Scrubber, this is my other channel. I take pictures of the woods, go to the beach and take pictures of shells and rocks and slugs and moss and mushrooms. And I put it to super chill music and just let it play. And then I also take pictures of kites and stuff too. I go to like kite festivals and stuff and try and stitch all that together, play some nice music to it. It's all super mellow. It's different than this football thing. So please go check it out. I'll put the information up on the screen for you. It's awesome.
I will.
All
okay.
right, so here it is. You call it, right?
All right. Now, just for the record, though, is
Yeah.
AI is 2-0?
Uh,
I think so.
yeah, 2-0.
2-0. Called the loss in game one and called the win. So,
Yeah,
all right.
We're each 1-1. Is that right?
That's right. So here we go. We're going to go heads for the Washington football team, tails for the Bills.
You got
Do
it.
it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Tails. It's tails.
Oh boy. Well, looks like Scrubber, you're out on an island.
Yeah.
But
What's different?
yep,
I'm always
This'll
on the
cat-
island.
a wind will catapult you into first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But AI has been pretty good at predicting stuff.
I know that
Us.
hurts.
And then you gave good reasons for the non-win. I like it. It's a scenario where we all have our little thing going, and then we'll just let the game play out and see how we do.
Yep, we'll do it.
Awesome.
So this is a 1:00 Eastern game.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I better roll in about 1:45 for the live stream. I'll be there, and we'll get the ball rolling.
That sounds good. And I'll put the information right above us here for everybody to see when that's going to be. And then
Okay.
we'll do a post game show sometime next week around Wednesday.
Sounds good.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
All right, man. Good show.
All right. We'll see y'all later.